car is moving with a uniform speed 5 root 3. Okay, the velocity of the car is 5 root 3. Towards a carriage of mass 9 kg, the mass of the carriage over here is 9 kg. Kept at a distance, at a certain distance, the height over here is equal to 120. Height AC is equal to 120 over here. Okay. It fires a cannonballs of 1 kg. Now the mass of the cannonballs is 1 kg at a velocity of 100 meter per second, making an angle 30 degree with the horizontal. Okay, making an angle 30 degree with the horizontal, and sticks to it. Determine the value of T naught. At T naught, the second cannonball is fired. Okay, assume that the resistive force between the rails and the car and the carriage is constant, and ignore the vertical motion of the car throughout. If the second ball also hits and sticks to the carriage, what will be the horizontal velocity of the carriage after the second impact? First of all, there are two assumptions. Okay, the first assumption over here is the velocity of the cannonball is 100 meter per second with respect to the ground, which is not specified over here. Okay, I will assume it to be with respect to the ground, which is not specified over here. And the second assumption is whatever is the resistive force between the carriage, it is given over here, that it remains constant, so it will have a certain constant coefficient of the friction. We will calculate this value. First of all, look here. When I consider the cannonball, it is fired at an angle of 30 degree with a velocity u. Okay, its velocity in the vertical direction will be equal to 100 sin 30, and in the horizontal direction it is equal to 100 cos 30. So in order to 100 cos 30. Okay, so in order to trace this displacement of 120 degree, we will use the kinematical equation. S is equal to ut plus half at square. So S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now understand that, take care of the signs over here. The displacement is in the downward direction, so it will be negative 120. Initial velocity is in the upward direction, which is equal to 100 sin 30, which is equal to positive, which is equal to 50 into T naught. The acceleration due to gravity is in the downward direction, so it will be equal to half into 10 into T naught the whole square. Okay. So I will divide the whole equation by 5. It will be equal to T naught square minus 10 T naught. Okay, minus 10 T naught. Okay, minus over here 24 will be equal to 0. If I solve this value, T naught will have two values, that is 12 and minus 2. Minus 2 cannot be the answer, the time cannot be negative here, so the time taken will be equal to 12 seconds. So the time taken over here will be equal to 12 seconds. Okay, so after 12 seconds the first cannon hits the ball. Now the second carriage, the carriage is initially stationary. Okay, now let us find out the rest of the value. Let us find out the rest of the values over here. We have to find out over here what will be the velocity after the second cannonball hits the carriage. First of all, let us find out the velocity when the cannonball first time hits the carriage. Okay, the cannonball is fired like this and it first time hits the carriage. Its velocity in the horizontal direction will remain same, and I will conserve the momentum only in the horizontal direction, because in the vertical direction all the forces have to be neglected. Okay, so when I conserve the momentum in the horizontal direction, I will use the formula m1 u1 plus m2 u2. U will be equal to m1 plus m2 into v. Okay, why the final velocities are same over here? If you consider this part, when the cannon strikes the carriage with whatever velocity, okay, the carriage was, let this be equal to u1, let the mass of the cannon be m1, let the mass of the carriage be m2, let the initial velocity be u2. It is given that the ball or the cannon ball sticks to the carriage. It means that when it sticks to the carriage, v1 will be equal to v2. Let us substitute the values over here. The horizontal velocity is equal to 50 root 3. Okay, it will be equal to 100 cos 30, which will be equal to 50 root 3. The mass of the cannon is 1 kg. The u2 is anyway equal to 0. Mass of the cannon is 1 kg, and the mass of the carriage over here is equal to 9 kg into v. So v over here will be equal to 50 root 3 divided by 10, which is equal to 5 root 3. That is the initial velocity of the carriage is equal to 5 root 3. Okay, let us proceed with this part. As soon as at the time t naught, when the cannon hits the carriage, this car has already moved a certain distance. Okay, so it has come, let us say the original point was P, it has arrived at a point Q. Okay, it has arrived at point Q over here. It is still on the cliff. Okay, it is not suspended in air, it is still on the cliff, but it has covered certain distance in this 12 seconds. Okay, in 12 seconds, let us find out the distance covered by the car. The distance covered by the car over here, the velocity is equal to 5 root 3. So the distance covered will be equal to velocity into time, which is equal to 5 root 3 into 12, which is equal to 60 root 3. Okay, Now, when as soon as the first cannon hits the carriage, the second cannon has been fired. Okay, as soon as the first cannon hits the carriage, the second cannon has been fired. If you consider the vertical distance, जो vertical distance है, it still remains same. Vertical distance अभी भी same ही है. It means that it will take the same 12 seconds to reach the second part when the carriage is somewhere over here. When the carriage is somewhere over here. Okay, when the carriage is somewhere over here, the total time taken is still the same, and the second cannon also hits the carriage. Okay, the second cannon also hits the carriage. When the second cannon also hits the carriage, let us find out the distance covered by the carriage. Okay, now it is very much clear that if the car has moved a distance of 60 root 3, this carriage also has to cover a horizontal distance of 60 root 3. Okay, in order for the second cannonball to hit the carriage. So now the displacement of the carriage is also 60 root 3. Let us find out the acceleration, because the acceleration is given as constant. We will use the formula s is equal to ut plus half at square. So in this case, s over here is equal to 60 root 3. Initial velocity was 5 root 3. The time taken was 12 seconds. The same 12 seconds for the second cannon to hit will be equal to half at square. If you calculate this value, the 60 root 3 and 5 into 60 root 3, this value will also be 60 root 3. It will come out to be 0. Okay, it will come out to be 0. So acceleration will come out to be 0, but practically this is little incorrect, because over here it is given that there will be constant resistive force. So by that logic, we should have got a constant acceleration. Now 0 is a constant acceleration, but we should have got some negative value of the acceleration. Okay, suppose we got the negative value of the acceleration as -1. In this case it is 0, but suppose we got the negative value of the acceleration as -1. We have to calculate the final value of, let us say this point is B over here and this point is E over here. We have to calculate the final velocity at this point E, then we can proceed with the rest of the sum. Okay, now since over here the acceleration is 0, or the deceleration basically, or the resistive force is 0 over here, the velocity will remain constant throughout. It means that at point B the velocity was 5 root 3. At point F also the velocity will be equal to 5 root 3. Okay, the velocity will not change unless the cannon is hit. Okay, now before the cannon is hit, the velocity is equal to 5 root 3. We will again use the same conservation of momentum. I will use the same conservation of momentum. The second cannon also hits, its velocity, its mass is equal to 1 kg. Now this carriage already has one cannon in it, so total mass is equal to 10 kg. It is moving in the horizontal direction with a velocity of 5 root 3. Its horizontal velocity is same, that is 50 root 3 in this direction. Let us conserve the momentum over here. Now the second cannon also sticks to the carriage after the impact. So I can say that m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 plus m2 into v. Okay, so now let us substitute the values. m1, the mass of the cannon is 1. The horizontal velocity is equal to 50 root 3. m2 is equal to 10 kg now, because it is the carriage plus the cannon plus the first cannon, into initial velocity is equal to 5 root 3. 1 plus 10 into v. So basically 50 root 3 plus 50 root 3 will give me 100 root 3. It will be equal to 11 into v. So v will be equal to 100 root 3 divided by 11. This will be the final velocity of the carriage as well as the two cannons after the second impact.